This is probably my long version since I've turned 56, which was very recent. And I want to talk about this thing called menopause and how I've lost the fat, especially off the belly area. Doesn't mean that it isn't a challenge from day to day. It's about maintenance and how to stay lean and how to build muscle. And that's what recomposition of your body would really make the difference in how you look and how you feel, but also toning the body so your clothes fit again. There's steps to this and there's a method, but it's not crazy. I talked about it many times, but I maybe put this a little bit differently. And there is times of adjustment. You can't just stick to one plan forever and then your body is still changing. And especially if you're in perimenopause and going into menopause, you're a new person like every month. I mean, it's crazy. Here I am considered post-menopause, and there's still ailments and things that I'm working with. I know, for instance, one, that I have a sluggish liver. Like, my detox pathways in your liver need to be able to push out the trash, if you will, to push out the bad things, the chemicals and things we bring in from the environment and even in our nutrition that need to go through the liver, balance out your hormones like estradiol. These are the things I have to consider as I adjust as my body is getting more in balance and more in sync for what I'm doing for optimum health. All right, so number one, shooting for 100 grams of protein every day. Now, that may be a little low to some people, but for me, it's really kind of my sweet spot. And that's what I'm finding out in the last couple of months. But when I eat 100 to 120 grams of protein a day, I feel pretty good, but I also feel like I'm overeating. Now, I've told you in the past that I don't really count calories, but what I do is track my macros, and really that's what I'm looking at. Now, I have a tracking device, and I decided to look at it for the last 30 days. And really, I'm under eating. My calories are coming out to be anywhere from 1,200 to 1,400 calories. That's just where I land. That's where I feel satiated. And usually I'm not snacking at that time. But when I eat under 1,200 calories, I know I'm in trouble, because then I start looking for things that I want to eat. The other thing is you have to front load your protein. This is just something that's working for me. Now, some people, you can do other things where you're spreading out the protein like throughout the day, which is good. It's just that in the evening, I tend to eat lighter because I sleep better. Sleep is a non-negotiable in your life that you must have, and to get quality sleep, it's best when you don't have a lot on your stomach when you do go to sleep. You can do a combination of protein in your breakfast. I mean, doubling up the protein than what you normally do. So for instance, if you have 2 or 3 eggs, that's only about 18 grams of protein for 3 eggs, right? And so you would double up by either mixing in yogurt with it or cottage cheese, and that is going to give you an extra anywhere from 12 to 18 grams of extra protein. Or maybe you have a patty. Instead of eating bacon, maybe you'll have a ground beef patty or a turkey patty, and those alone could be about 18 or 20 grams depending on the size. So you just doubled up your protein intake for your breakfast. And so that's where I always want to make sure that I have more than 30 grams of protein in each meal so that I can get closer to that 100 grams. Why protein is so good is because it is going to give you satiety, and therefore that curbs the appetite and the cravings. Protein will discourage you from snacking in between meals. So if you're having 3 meals a day, have it. you can seriously change your world and have fat loss happen just with your diet alone, because that is at least 60 to 70% of everything you're doing in combination with exercise and with your nutrition. If you want to lose fat, you really go after it in your kitchen. If you want to get strong and lean, then you go after it in the gym or working out at home. Number 2 is to fast in the smart way. And that's what I usually do with OMAD, or I eat 2MAD. But that's kind of my normal day, eating 2MAD. Nevertheless, when I feel like I'm stagnated, I will do 1 or 2 days in the week eating 1 meal a day, or calling that the 24-hour fast. Now, if you really want to mix it up, I will once a month about do a extended fast, 36 hours or 48-hour fast. And those are the things that I utilize, some tools. If I feel like I really can't do just a water fast, there's no reason why you should be really punishing yourself and feeling like this is painful to do. You should still have energy when you do a fast. So that means you need more electrolytes. I put in my sea salt or Himalayan salt in my water throughout the day. And that is really going to help you with keeping your energy up and also curbing the appetite so you can go longer on your fast. The other thing about fasting is you don't really need to do a rigorous workout. Maybe just keep it to walking, and that's it for your movement of the day. Oh, and one thing about fasting, there are studies that are proven that occasionally throwing in a 36-hour, 48-hour, those extended types of fasts will kick off and trigger autophagy. And autophagy is about cell repair. So the mitochondria is the operational system, if you will, inside the cell to make everything run smoothly so that you can actually lose weight when you intend to do so. So the autophagy is about cellular cleanup, and that is detoxing and getting rid of the junk that is already polluting our body. And so if you can take the time to give yourself a break from digesting all that food with the extended fast, then that would enhance your insulin sensitivity. And that is really the blockage of losing fat and losing weight, is insulin resistance. If you are chasing the health, then the weight would start to fall off once everything starts to balance out in a way that makes sense for your body. The bottom line is that extended fasting will improve insulin sensitivity, which is the challenge that we have when it comes down to menopausal weight loss. Recovery and movement. This is what I mentioned earlier in the video, is that the movement is really a key factor to help with your nutrition. So when we eat, we know that the insulin and the blood levels spike up, and then that is blocking your fat loss. But if you move after each meal and take 10 to 20 to 30 minutes if you can, a 10-minute walk would make such a difference if you do that after each meal. But even after your final meal, taking a nice walk there, maybe 20-30 minutes is what I do. And those extra steps are really going to make the difference in when you get your rest and sleep. And then when you get up in the morning, it's going to make a difference with the belly fat alone. Again, movement improves the insulin sensitivity and lowers the blood sugar. So this simple habit will improve that insulin sensitivity by taking these short walks. I'm now walking between 10,000 to 17,000 steps, and I'm telling you, it is making all the difference in the world to keep you lean. And this is a big factor in menopause belly fat. Movement, resistance training, and walking, and stretching, right? Mixing that up throughout the week. Daily, you should be doing some type of movement. Getting up every hour, 5 minutes is gonna make a difference. That adds up. Think about it. If you're working an 8-hour day, 5 minutes every hour, you get up and walk around or dance or do some kind of stretching, that adds up to 40 minutes a day. If you're doing resistance training at least 3 times a week, and you are looking at your recovery time, because recovery is when the magic happens for all the things that we've been doing. Your muscles are damaged in the gym and you get nourishment in the kitchen, but you build the muscle back, recovery in the bed, and that's sleeping. Make sense? We just don't need to overcomplicate it. So let's keep it simple. And things I've been thinking about as another step is to stop stressing and always thinking about weight. I was always obsessing over weight. It would dictate my mood for the day. That is a thing about being in postmenopause. Weight doesn't distribute the same way that it used to in your 20s and 30s and even your 40s. Weight is distributing in pockets like me, in my inner thighs and my belly. I had to look at the muscle build, and that really comes out to look a lot leaner, even though the weight scale says something else. Please don't just look at the scale. It's not telling you the whole story, and it's not giving you the whole picture on how you look, how you feel, and giving you the strength. So chase the strength and chase the health. Everything else will fall into place and you'll look younger than what your age is saying you are. I take vitamins and minerals. I do the magnesium glycinate, which is great for sleep, but also helps with the digestion, the gut health. And that's gonna get things moving, but also that's gonna tell where that weight is going as well, again, in the gut. And we really need to focus on gut health, but it will help you with sleep, which will also help you with lowering the stress and anxiety that we get when we're making the change. The other thing is the vitamin D3 plus K2, because the K2 helps the D3 absorb in your body better. It's helping you with the hormone balancing, but it's also helping you with bone strength. And because we're at high risk of osteoporosis and dementia, Alzheimer's, and heart disease, so just showing some appreciation and to work on the mindset and be thankful for what we have. We still have our health in a way that we can make it optimal. And we have God looking over us and making sure that we do live a long life. And it's about longevity. And I want to feel like I can live to 96, 106 instead of 66. My final step here is a low carb approach in my diet. So I really had to start looking at my carb intake, because I know for me, carbs will stagnate my fat loss and any type of weight loss. I stick to low carbs and I try to hit under 100 grams of carbs. And like I said, I was tracking it in the last 30 days and I was finding that when I get over about 80 or 90 carbs, then I know my weight will not move. It'll stay the same. If I get over 100 grams of carbs, my weight goes up. That I know. So you might want to look at not only your protein, but also look at your carbs and your fats. So start focusing on habits and being consistent in what you're doing. But if you look at these steps and put that into your daily routine, really be consistent, and then don't think about the time it takes to get off 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 20 pounds, because it takes a while for your balancing to get back into place and for you to have the proper nutrition that your body would start to respond to losing the extra fat. So if you're ready for a step-by-step guide and you want to check out it, please do, because I really put my own personal touch into it for the mature woman, and I'll leave the link in the description. And listen, you can always begin again. Just start over the next day. That's what this channel is about. Thanks for watching, guys. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Cheers.